you're here for chores for homeschool kids, then this is the video for you. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'll share with you my free download that will help your kids get started with morning chores. Welcome, Joyful Noise Mamas. I'm Ashley, if we haven't met yet, and I love homeschooling my 3 kids. I've been doing it for the last 7 years. I love to do Charlotte Mason style, biblically based, Christian worldview, and I love making it affordable for my kids. So if you're interested in that, please consider subscribing. So in one of my latest videos, I did it on building habits for kids. I talked about Charlotte Mason's thoughts on habits formation in your kids and gave you some of my favorite resources for how to start doing that for you and for your kids. If you missed that, you'll want to go back and watch that so you can hear the philosophy behind habit building and give you a foundation for the why behind the what of building habits in kids in the Charlotte Mason homeschool style. Today, I want to talk about chores and how we work on chores, especially for my homeschool kids. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of how those chores work, I just want to remind you that chores and habits start and begin with you. Modeling good habits is key. Our kids are watching us like hawks. And I know it is good to be intentional and to teach your kids good habits and how to do things, but we also need to model it and be good examples of good habits, because they really are. They're going to do more of what we do than what we tell them to do. Does that make sense? So it's just a fact. Our kids are watching you, or not my kids, but your kids are watching you, right? That's how they were made. They were made to mimic what they see other people do. That's how kids learn. It really is. You know how when they're like watching a TV show and a little bit later you hear them repeating things they heard on the TV show or trying things they saw on the TV show? Yes, that's what kids do. So they're going to do the same thing with you when it comes to chores. So if you want them to have good habits, you have to model good habits first. All right, now on to the good stuff. I like lists. So I have lists for myself, especially because I can't keep all of that in my brain. It's nice to have a list to just give me something to remind me of what needs to be done. I make them for my kids too. And I have a couple kids who really do like the lists because they like to know what's expected of them and what they really need to do before they have to do something else. So when they know what's expected of them, they are more likely to do what I want them to do. So first off, when my kids are young, we work on what we call morning jobs. And these are the things that kids need to do to take care of themselves and their bodies before we get into the day. So these are super simple. You can start this as young as 2 or 3 years old, and then I adapt it and change it as they get older. But the main things that I know all my kids can do is brush teeth, get dressed, put away their clothes, and make their bed. High five. These are things that adults, well, most adults, do in the mornings without being told to do them, right? By giving these 4 basic things for my kids to do, I can expect them to do these things every morning, whether we're staying at home doing school, getting ready for school, or we're going away somewhere or going to church, anything like that. They know what's expected of them each morning. So beyond those 3-4 basic things, I have done a few things for my kids according to age group. I try to make these chores age appropriate so they can learn and take care of themselves and have a little bit of a challenge, but it's also not so challenging that they don't want to do it and just can't be successful. So that's a little tip. If you run into that and your child is really struggling with doing their chores, check and see if the things that you're expecting them to do might be above their physical capabilities or mental capabilities. That's just one little free tip there. Okay, so I wrote down a list and I talked about the things that are age appropriate for each age. So in the ages 3 to 5 group, this is the youngest group that I would do jobs for. They're expected to do just those 4 things that I said above, plus one other simple chore. My youngest son right now, he's 5, he can help unload the dishes. And he only does the plates or the silverware, things that he can reach, it's not too high. Or he has one other job he can do right now is pick up the trash from the trash cans. We have trash cans in each room, and he runs and goes and grabs those and then dumps them out, and then we get clean trash cans again. Okay, for the ages 6 to 8-year-olds, you can up the ante a little bit here. So for this age group, I add 1 or 2 more morning chores. My current 7-year-old sweeps the kitchen, puts the dishes away, either the plates or the silverware, and he has to put away his clean clothes that have been folded and ready to go. We like to play a folding game. My boys do a relay where they tag their hands and they run it down to the room. They come back tag the brother, and then the next brother runs his clothes down to the room. It's kind of fun. You can catch me doing that on Instagram sometimes. There's a few other things my 7-year-old does. He can clean the bathroom, wipes the mirror, wipes the sink, cleans the toilet. They can wipe anything. Kids are really good at wipers. If you just hand them a washcloth, they can go wipe. For the ages 9 to 10-year-old age group, you can definitely up the level of their chores for sure. My kids would call it level up. So my 10-year-old is expected to do the 4 basic things in the morning. Also unloads the rest of the dishwasher. She takes the big trash outside. She's strong enough to do that now. And she feeds and takes care of our dog. She also cleans the bathroom. She's able to put away her clothes, clean her room, all those things. Vacuuming, all my kids vacuum. I didn't mention that, but yeah, vacuuming is one that they definitely all do. I made a download for all these charts for you. So there's in the description box, there's one for each age group, and I made different colors for boys and girls. So if you would like that, you just have to enter your email address and then I will send that over to you. So I just want to encourage you that building chores and habits in kids is really difficult. It is not easy some days. My kids have to hear repeatedly, okay, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? I have to show them and show them how I want the dishes unloaded, or show them how I want the floors swept. And it's a constant reminder and repeating to them. But I do want to say that you will see the fruit of that work. You're not going to see that fruit every day. It's going to be a lot of hard work put into it. But friend, that hard work will pay off someday. I promise. One day they're going to be very capable teenagers, hopefully being able to take care of themselves, your house, and it's going to be great, right? For those of you mamas who have young children where you're still doing everything for everyone, I get it. I was there, but that season doesn't last forever. Your little children will grow into older children who will be able to take care of themselves more. So just keep at it. Keep reminding them to brush their teeth. Keep helping them get dressed on their own, and they'll eventually grow into older kids. Okay, so back to doing chores with your kids. As far as when we do these chores, for us and our family, it works best if we do them right after breakfast or our morning time, family morning time in the morning. I don't make my kids do their morning jobs first thing when they wake up, because I have a handful of kids who are not morning people and they need to take a while to wake up and find the motivation to move, period. Once they get breakfast in their bellies, they are ready to go. And I don't have a specific time for these chores. I've done that in the past and it has just failed miserably every time. So instead of saying, okay, at 9 o'clock we start chores, or 8:15 we start chores, like I don't do that anymore. We just kind of go with our morning, and because nobody likes feeling rushed, so we kind of just do breakfast, a little playtime, and then we move into morning chores. As they get older, I will require them to be up at a certain time and ready at a certain time, but my kids are under 10 years old and we're doing okay with how we're doing it now. Also, doing chores right after breakfast and before we start school, it gives them a moment to get up and move and get their brains moving and the blood flowing and all that. I like them to do that before they sit down and start doing some schoolwork. So we sit down for breakfast and morning time, then we move for doing morning jobs and chores, and then we sit down again for schoolwork and stuff. So it works out really nicely, kind of breaks it up. Okay, so this is my habit training series. So my next video coming out is on how I pick character traits for my kids for character training. So you'll want to subscribe if you don't want to miss that next video. I'm getting really excited for that. So this is how I do chores with my homeschool kids. This is just what works for me and my family right now. I really hope this gives you ideas and inspiration for you and yours. Make sure you remember that every family is different and that you need to find what works for your family. My question is, what are some chores that you think are age appropriate for your kids right now? Share them with me and with us in the comments. We'd love to chat about that. Don't forget to check out the free download I have for you in the description below for a chore chart for your kids. So thank you for watching. I hope I will see you next time, and have a great day.